may be wondering how I got this bike. So, I found it on Pink Bike for only $500. However, it was kind of far away from my house, so I had to pay $100 in shipping to get it shipped here. Now, some people don't think shipping used bikes is a good idea, and I can agree it's risky, but I saw so many pictures, I was confident that this was a good bike. I really do like it, and it's a great bike for what I need. It has 150 millimeters of travel up front and 140 in the rear. This is about the perfect amount for me, because I'm basically an all-mountain rider who sometimes does downhill with it. So, unlike the last bike, which is a little more XC oriented, this one is all mountain, which is perfect for me. Also, if you're wondering, there were a few things wrong with this bike when I got it. The bottom bracket was completely shot and I had to replace it, which I also replaced the cranks with the old ones from the Gary Fisher. Also, there's a couple little things, the headset's a little worn out and the cassette needs changed, but other than that, it's almost perfect. Even though there are a few scratches in the paint and stuff like that, it's a great bike, the frame is good, and everything's good with it. Hopefully, a few upgrades I plan is making a 1x11 Shimano Dior, and other than that, it's really a great bike. I really do enjoy it, I've had it for about a couple weeks testing it out, and it really is my favorite bike that I've had so far. So now I'll show you guys what the components are on it. Alright, for the parts, we'll move up front to start, and for the rim, we have an Alex Rims DP20. It's double wall and holds up really well, and on the rim is the tire, the Schwab Magic Mary, which is a great tire. It's really new, has a ton of tread still left on it. It was a great addition for this bike. In the middle of the tire, we have a 160mm rim connected to SRAM level caliper. This caliper works great, the brakes are great, and everything's good about it. Connecting all that stuff is a Fox 32 with 150mm of travel. This is a great fork, and it's much better than my old fork, and I really do like it. It really makes riding much better. Moving up from there, we have an Ozonic stem, which matches the rear wheel, and we have Hasselfeld Truvative handlebars. On those handlebars, we have race face grips, which are, they're pretty nice. Not my favorite grips, but also definitely much better than some of my old ones. For the brakes, this is the SRAM level that goes with the front one, and over here we have an Avid Juicy 3 that goes in the back with an Avid Elixir caliper. For the shifter itself is a SRAM X7, but the actual derailleur is a SRAM X9. Moving from there, we have a 2010 Fezzari Alta Peak frame. That's what the frame is. And if I didn't mention earlier, the components, the shocks, all the upgraded stuff, because this bike is mostly upgraded, is all from 2012 actually. So including this rear Fox Float RP23, which has 140mm of travel. It is very similar to the shock on my last bike actually, just a few years newer, from 2012 as I mentioned. I mounted a bottle cage with zip ties because for whatever reason this frame doesn't come with bottle cage mounts, but whatever. I have a temporary quick release. I need to buy a new one. This one's kind of bulky. Seat post, WTB saddle, works great. Moving down, I actually have the same Shimano Dior XT cranks that were on my old Gary Fisher bike, because this bike originally came with a square tapered bottom bracket and these other cranks, but the square tapered bottom bracket was all worn out, so I needed to replace it, and I needed a new pair of cranks for Holotech because I like Holotech better, and I had the Shimano Dior ones hanging around for my old bike, so I decided to get use out of them. Alright, moving back, we have another 160mm rotor, and as I mentioned earlier, the Avid Elixir 1 from the back. Now, if we want to move on to the other side, you can see my Ozonic Outlaw red rims. They match the color scheme of the bike real well, and I really like them. They're nice and thick, thicker than the ones up front. And in the rear, we have a Kenda Nevigel tire. It's pretty worn, and I'll probably need to replace it at the end of this season, but it's working all right for now. In the back, we have a 10 34-tooth gear range cassette, which really isn't much, and I kind of want to upgrade it to a Shimano Dior 1x11. And that uses, as I mentioned earlier, a SRAM X9 derailleur. This thing shifts relatively well, not my favorite thing, but also it's not terrible. Moving up closer, we have a 1x setup on this bike. Currently it has a 36-tooth chain ring, same with my old Shimano Dior XT cranks. It's kind of high geared because of the 36-tooth, but that's alright. On that chainring, we have an E13 chain guide on the bottom and top. This is great for keeping chain drops low, and it really helps out. Other than that, it's just the frame components. This bike, it rides really nice. I haven't taken on any major trails just yet, but yeah, it's been working great. I've had it on a few jumps, but other than that, it works great. So yeah, it's a great bike. So, after having this bike for a few weeks now, I've noticed that it's really nice. The suspension works great, and overall it's a great bike for mountain biking. It's a lot more capable than my old Gary Fisher, and it is much better suited to what kind of riding I do. So hopefully this one will last for much longer than that one did, and I can ride it for a good few years. I'll have some more videos in the future on a new trail at Alameda State Park, if you guys have heard of that. Apparently they added a couple new downhill trails, and I'm going there soon, so I'll definitely make a video about that. Also, I'm going to probably make a couple more videos on this bike when I get some upgraded parts, such as if I was going to get that Shimano Dior 1x11 crankset, I'll definitely make a video about upgrading that. But yeah, other than that, this bike works great, and yeah, I love it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you appreciate my review of this bike, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.